Sometimes a man doesn't say I love you. He just shows it in quiet ways that most people never notice. Through small actions, gentle habits, and moments that seem ordinary but carry so much meaning. You see, men often express love differently. They don't always use words, because for many of them, love isn't about talking, it's about doing. A look, a gesture, a silent act of care. That's how a man's heart speaks when his mouth stays quiet. So in this video, we'll uncover 8 silent ways men show deep love without saying a single word. Signs that prove how much he feels for you, even when he doesn't say it out loud. Because sometimes the loudest I love you is whispered through silence. Sign 1. He listens, even when you're not talking about him. When a man truly loves you, he listens, not just to your words, but to your world. He pays attention to the things most people miss, the way your voice softens when you talk about something you care about, the little sigh you make when you're tired, the stories you tell that seem random, but matter to you. Real love isn't shown through constant compliments. It's shown through quiet understanding. Psychologists say that when a man feels deeply connected, his brain actually begins to tune into the emotional rhythm of the person he loves. It's called empathic resonance, a deep emotional awareness that happens without effort. He doesn't just remember what you said, he feels it. So when he recalls the name of your childhood friend or brings up that tiny detail you mentioned weeks ago, that's not coincidence. That's care. That's attention. That's love, translated into memory. You'll notice it most when you least expect it. Maybe you say you had a rough day, and instead of trying to fix it, he just listens. He doesn't interrupt. He doesn't judge. He just lets you talk. Because in that moment, his silence is his support. Men who love deeply don't always have the perfect words, but they have something better. Presence. When he listens to you like that, he's not just hearing your story, he's learning your heart. Sign 2. He protects you, subtly, not possessively. When a man loves you deeply, his instinct to protect you becomes almost invisible, yet incredibly strong. He's not trying to control you or keep you small. He's trying to keep you safe, even in the simplest moments. You'll notice it in the way he walks on the traffic side of the street, how his hand slightly moves toward you when crossing the road, or how he checks in to make sure you got home safely. Those are not random gestures. They're emotional reflexes. Psychology tells us that when a man forms a deep emotional attachment, the protective part of his nature activates. It's not about dominance or ego, it's about care. His brain releases oxytocin, the bonding hormone, and it creates this quiet need to make sure you're okay. He might not say, I worry about you, but you'll feel it. You'll see it in the way he looks around a room when you're uncomfortable, how he reads your expressions to make sure you're fine, or how he subtly steps closer when someone crosses a line. These aren't grand, heroic acts. They're the everyday, silent shields of love. And what makes them special is that he never uses them to control you. He trusts your independence. He respects your strength. But deep inside, he's always ready to stand between you and anything that could hurt you. Because when a man truly loves you, protection isn't about power. It's about peace of mind. He doesn't say, I'll protect you. He simply does. Sign 3. He shares his quiet moments. When a man lets you into his silence, that's one of the purest signs of love. Most men live behind walls, not because they're cold, but because they've been taught to hide their emotions, to speak only when they have something useful to say. But when he's in love, those walls start to come down. You'll notice it when he's sitting beside you, saying nothing, and it doesn't feel awkward. It feels calm, safe, warm. That silence isn't emptiness, it's comfort. Psychologists call this emotional safety, the deep sense of peace that allows someone to be fully themselves without fear of judgment or rejection. When a man feels that with you, he no longer needs to fill the air with words. He knows you understand him, even when he's quiet. Maybe he plays music while you're both lost in thought. Maybe he scrolls on his phone while you read beside him. Maybe you're driving together, no conversation, just the soft rhythm of trust between you. These are the moments where love breathes without effort, because when a man lets you see his silence, he's showing you the side he never shows the world. The unspoken part of himself that feels, that rests, that simply is. It's in those quiet moments that love speaks the loudest, not through promises, not through perfect words, but through the peaceful stillness of two souls who no longer need to prove anything. When he shares his silence with you, he's not withdrawing. He's letting you into the space where his heart finally feels at home. Sign 4. He supports your dreams, not just your days. When a man truly loves you, he doesn't just care about how your day went. He cares about where your life is going. His love isn't limited to being there when things are easy. It expands into something deeper, wanting to see you rise, grow, and become everything you're meant to be. You'll see it in the way he listens when you talk about your goals, even if he doesn't fully understand them. He encourages you when you doubt yourself. He reminds you of your worth when you forget. That's not small talk. That's love in its highest form. Support without spotlight. Psychology calls this transformational love, a type of love that inspires personal growth. It's when two people don't just comfort each other, they elevate each other. A man who loves you deeply wants to be part of your journey, not your cage. He won't hold you back out of fear of losing you. Instead, he'll cheer you on, even if it means you might outgrow the version of yourself he first met. Because real love isn't about possession, it's about partnership. Maybe he pushes you to take that new job. Maybe he stays up late helping you plan your next step. Maybe he just says, "You've got this," and somehow you believe him more than you believe yourself. These are the silent ways he says, "I believe in you." He doesn't need to make big speeches or write long messages. His belief shows through his consistency, his patience, and the quiet pride in his eyes when you succeed. Because when a man loves you deeply, your dreams become his too. Not to control, but to protect, nurture, and celebrate. And that's the kind of love that doesn't just hold your hand, it builds your wings. Sign 5. He notices your emotions, even the hidden ones. A man who loves deeply doesn't just see you, he feels you. He notices the shifts in your mood, even the ones you try to hide. That tiny furrow in your brow, the way your voice softens, or the subtle tension in your shoulders. To him, they're impossible to miss. This isn't about overanalyzing or being controlling. It's about empathic attunement, a psychological concept where someone becomes finely tuned to the emotional state of another. A man in love develops this almost instinctively. You might smile and say, "I'm fine," but he senses otherwise. Without forcing the conversation, he asks, "Are you really okay?" And the concern in his voice tells you he genuinely wants to understand, not just to react. He remembers the things that affect your mood, the stressful meeting you mentioned, the disagreement you had with a friend, or even the subtle sadness in a song that touched you. Later, he might send a small message, a thoughtful gift, or just hold your hand. Silent gestures that show he knows and cares. When a man notices your hidden emotions, it's love expressed in its quietest, yet most profound form. He's not just observing, he's connecting. His attentiveness tells you, without words, "I see you. I understand you. Your feelings matter to me." And that's a kind of love that doesn't need loud declarations. It's patient, it's careful, and it's unforgettable. Sign 6. He puts you first in small, unseen ways. True love isn't always about grand gestures or dramatic declarations. Often it's found in the small, quiet ways a man prioritizes you, even when no one else is watching. Maybe he saves you the last piece of dessert, even though he wanted it. Maybe he lets you choose the movie, even though he secretly hoped for a different one. Maybe he carries your bag without complaint or gives you his jacket when he's cold too. These acts might seem minor, but they reveal something much bigger, a deep, selfless care for your happiness. He's not doing these things for praise or attention. He's doing them because your comfort matters to him more than his convenience. Psychologists call this pro-social behavior, actions that prioritize others' well-being. In love, it manifests as constant, quiet thoughtfulness. A man who loves deeply doesn't keep score. He doesn't wait for gratitude. He simply acts because making your life easier, happier, or more comfortable gives him joy. You'll notice it in the little patterns, the subtle adjustments he makes in his schedule to be there for you, the way he remembers tiny preferences without you reminding him, or how he anticipates your needs before you even voice them. These small, almost invisible sacrifices add up. They show that in his heart, your needs come first. Not because he's forced to, but because he wants to. When a man consistently puts you first, he's speaking a silent yet powerful language of love. You matter more to me than my comfort, my convenience, or even my preference. You are my priority, and that's the kind of love that doesn't need words to be felt. It's lived quietly every single day. Sign 7. He looks at you like you're home. There's a difference between lustful glances and the way a man truly in love looks at you. When he gazes at you, it's not just admiration, it's recognition, it's comfort, it's belonging. You'll notice it in the quiet moments. When he watches you laugh, when he observes you lost in thought, or simply when he sees you across the room. His eyes soften, his expression relaxes, and in that look, you feel seen in a way words could never capture. Psychologists describe this as a deep sense of attachment and emotional resonance. When a man has formed a strong emotional bond, his brain responds to your presence almost like a safe haven. Seeing you calms him, focuses him, and reminds him where he belongs. This kind of gaze isn't fleeting or superficial. It lingers, subtle yet profound. It communicates something quiet but powerful. With you, I am at peace. With you, I am myself. You are my home. And it goes beyond romantic attraction. It's about trust, security, in a shared emotional sanctuary. A man in love doesn't just want to be near you physically. He wants to be emotionally present, to anchor himself in your world while allowing you to anchor yourself in his. So when you catch him looking at you like this, know that it's more than admiration. It's love speaking without words, a silent promise that wherever life takes you both, he's already found his home in you. Sign 8. He chooses you. Every day, even when it's hard. True love isn't just a feeling that comes and goes. It's a choice, a decision that repeats quietly every single day. A man who loves deeply doesn't just stay when life is easy or when everything feels perfect. He stays when things are messy, complicated, or exhausting. He shows up even when it's inconvenient, even when he's tired, even when the world seems to push him away. Psychology calls this commitment behavior. When love transforms from an emotion into a deliberate choice, it's what separates fleeting infatuation from enduring connection. When a man chooses you consistently, he's telling you without words, you are my priority, my partner, my person, no matter what. You'll notice it in the small but significant ways. He makes time for you even when his schedule is packed. He supports you when you struggle without complaint. He forgives, he compromises, he navigates conflicts, Not because he has to, but because his love is intentional, and it's not always easy. Sometimes loving you means swallowing his pride, setting aside his own convenience, or facing challenges he didn't anticipate. But he does it anyway because love isn't only about comfort. It's about choosing to stand by someone through it all. When a man repeatedly chooses you, his actions speak louder than any words ever could. His love is steady, unwavering, and profoundly real. Because at the end of the day, love isn't just about saying, "I love you." It's about living it every day in ways both quiet and unshakable. Love isn't always loud. It doesn't always shout from rooftops or flood your phone with messages. Sometimes the deepest love lives in silence, in gestures and presence, in the small, unnoticed ways a man shows you that you matter more than anything else. If a man listens, protects, supports, notices, and chooses you every day, don't underestimate his quiet devotion. His love is real, steady, and powerful, even when he doesn't say it out loud. So here's the truth. Pay attention to the little things. Watch his actions, feel his care, and honor the love that speaks in silence. And if this video helped you recognize those quiet signs of love, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more deep psychological insights into love, relationships, and the human heart. Because understanding love isn't just about knowing the words. It's about feeling the actions behind them. And sometimes, the loudest "I love you" is the one that never needs to be spoken.